This is Safely Back to School on Coastal Living.
All schools and families with children are having a difficult time during this crisis, but it hit Premont especially hard. About 32% of Premont population are below the national poverty line, so many families cannot afford internet connectivity or distance learning before back to school. Fortunately, the Premont ISD has a program to fund connectivity and equipment for families that cannot afford them. With me today to discuss in more detail is Steve Van Maitre, Premont ISD Superintendent. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Clarissa. How are you?
I'm wonderful and so excited to see what we have to offer our community. Now, we know this COVID crisis has affected school districts and families all over the world, but in rural areas, how do you feel it's affected you differently than in bigger cities?
Well, again, thank you for having me on your show. Love your show and congratulations on the anniversary
Thank
of your
you.
show. It's a big hit.
It is.
Going back to why I'm here. Premont is in the heart of rural South Texas, and as you said, many of our families are identified as being economically disadvantaged, below the poverty line, and that hits them hard when they're not able to send their children to in-person instruction. And then when we're asking each one of the children to have a laptop or a Chromebook, a device, the connectivity that goes with that, that's tough for that family. But fortunately in Premont, we have conquered for now the digital divide, and every one of our children from the age of 5 to a senior in high school not only has a device, but they also, if they need it, have a hotspot so that we can connect them into our classrooms. Because unlike what we did in the spring, where we literally had to pivot from one day to the next, from having traditional in-person instruction to remote virtual learning, now we are piping them into the classroom, so there'll be a teacher in the classroom. It'll be live, it'll be two-way, and it'll be a lot different than what we did in the spring. But we're excited about the opportunity.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like you're very well equipped for this upcoming school year. Now, I imagine one of the advantages to being a rural community is the fact that you have a smaller population, which means less kids per classroom, which is already an advantage. What other accommodations are we making for distance learning during the COVID pandemic?
Well, we're offering both in-person instruction beginning on September the 14th and remote instruction beginning on the 24th. All of our students will begin the school year, except for our special needs students, from their homes remotely. And then parents will have the option, depending on what the community spread looks like in September, middle of September, September 14th, then they'll be able to come to school. We anticipate about 60% of our student body. We have about 650 students. About 50% of them will choose to send their children to school. We're hoping that increases as some of the fears that our parents may have right now about sending their children to school, and they see some of the things that we're doing. We have the famous Premont hula hoops for our elementary children. They love it. That reinforces the 6 feet social distancing, and it does it in a way that is fun. This is a very serious situation, but these are also children, and we have to integrate in their day some fun, as well as teaching and learning and making them understand some of the things that you're used to at school, you just can't do anymore. And Clarissa, the schools, not only in Premont, but throughout South Texas and Texas, provide so many services that just can't be duplicated either at home or in a remote environment. We offer quality instruction. We offer nutritious meals. In Premont, we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner for this upcoming school year. We have really good health care with a terrific RN. We offer vision, speech, and those are services that small communities depend on. And so our goal is twofold. It's to ensure that the child that does stay at home gets the same type of quality education that the child that comes to in-person instruction, and that we will get to a point where the majority of our kids are coming to school.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, I feel just in this interview that you guys are absolutely well equipped for this upcoming school year. Of course, moving forward, it's going to change the way not only we perform in our workplace at home, but I think the way that education works when kids are missing school for illnesses and things like that. This might be a positive for us now that we've learned a little bit more about virtual learning. But we look forward to this upcoming school year. Thank you for preparing our rural community for everything that is to come. And I think we have a little more comfort knowing that you feel confident for this upcoming school year.
Thank you, Clarissa, and it was an honor to be